Come here now, girl.
Hello and welcome to What's Map, your one-stop shop for everything workshop. I'm BonBonB and you're very, very welcome. Right, today's map jumped off of the workshop for me. I knew it wasn't going to be the world's most splendiferous map, but it looked interesting. Now, to be fair, there was one image and no real description. But from that image, I felt that this map would have something going for it. And it does. Now consider that this map is...
It's my first map.
That's good. It's actually a really good My First Map. The downside is we kind of had a theme going on this week. Half of the maps this week have had one major negative thing in common. Now, I have fixed that in today's show, so I think maybe, just for once, possibly, you could hit that like button. That's right, hitting the like button really does support the channel, gets me seen by more people and helps me grow a little bit more every single day, so thank you for your support. So today's map is Dalen by Fneo. It might be F-N-E-O, but I'm going Fneo, it seems reasonable. And the map has just got a really interesting waterfront, looks a really interesting shape. There's your start square, and again, you can't grumble with that, that looks spot on. We've even got some national roads running around the start square already. The terrain heights, it's an undulating map. It's a realistically kind of undulating map, which is nice. And then your resources look like this. And the resources, well, if you want to do a lot of fertile work, do a lot of farming, probably a good map for that. Off to the workshop, there is nothing to subscribe to. However, the realistic temperate theme automatically loaded. So we'll be using the realistic temperate theme, which should be on the list, but it isn't, and the realistic 1.2 LUT. Now, when I loaded up the map, this is what I was faced with. And I thought, good damn it. Okay, then network extensions 2. I added that, and it wasn't network extensions 2. And then I thought, oh, okay, let's add all of the DLC. So I added all of the DLC, and we still have exactly the same issue. It's a broken map. Damn it. So I went to the loading screen mod and there were two assets that were missing, both of them road assets. So I'll put them on the screen now. And it's there. So if you want to take on this map, you will need those two assets or it will be broken. And there is actually a comment on the workshop page saying, doesn't work for me. Yep, this will be why. So anyway, yes, I'll try to remember to link them into the description. But if failing that, just search up what's typed on the screen there and you should be okay. Subscribe to them and you will be good. Right, okay, now accepting this, we're going to review it anyway. Alright, there we go. Now the map's working with those two missing road assets. But yes, please, if you're a creator, first map, last map, middle map, experienced, not experienced, whatever, if there is an essential mod or assets, please include it on the workshop page. It's quite simple to add, and if you're not entirely sure, at least just put it as a link into the description itself on the page saying I use this, I don't know how to add it to there. That's fine, we can live with that. As it is though, many a person's going to load up this map and basically it'll be broken. That'll be wasting their time, which is a shame because this intersection, look at this. This is absolutely plumb beautiful. It's simple, all the slopes are just right, the size of it feels about right. The merge lanes, sorry, could be a little bit more polished, but honestly, that's not really an issue for me. Not really, especially with the first map, not really an issue. It's excellent work. Now this bridge I've got a minor grumble with. I think I would have preferred this just to have been elevated rather than suspension. I feel the suspension is just a bit too low for a suspension bridge. Or, you know, even if it's just one or two notes higher. Because those are sort of like holding it. It just feels like it needs to be held up a little bit higher above the water. Again, it's not strictly a problem. It's definitely not game breaking. And I've seen much worse bridges than that. But again, I just don't feel that that bridge really felt it needed suspension. It could have been just elevated and it would have been absolutely lovely. So anyway, all told though, it's 100% vanilla in terms of trees, which means it's not going to be the prettiest map in terms of trees. And yet, we have given 5 stars for trees, well, for aesthetics on vanilla maps, so it is possible to do it. Next intersection, this is your start square intersection. Start square intersection it's okay. It feels right, apart from these merge roads. You'll notice they're not mirrored. So this one down here is angled inwards instead of outwards. I would have been quite happy with right angle turnings, because there are cars turning left and right from each of those. Like all the cars turning left there would prefer a slightly better angle on the intersection, on the junction. It's a minor thing, not a problem. But you've got level crossing there, and now heading down into Start Square, and we've got a really quirky one today. Hang on to your hats, you won't want to be living in this one. Because it's the Twisted Building by christinayan. Now, we have done one from Christina in the past, and this one's just like, well, it's quirky, isn't it? It's just quirky. Realism be damned, doesn't matter. That makes it just a good monument, really, doesn't it? Anyway, factoids because factoids. Maurice Ravel, the French composer, was born today, March the 7th, in 1875. Entering the prestigious Paris easy for me to say. Entering the prestigious Paris Conservatoire at the age of only 14. Though he was always a frail person, he insisted on enlisting as a truck driver on the front during the World War I. The Great War, as it was at the time. But soon had to be discharged as the strain was just too much. Look, if you got that sort of talent, entertain the troops. That would be definitely approved. Anyways, speaking of approval, I approve of this. Just don't want to live in it. christinayan's Twisted Building. That is today's asset of the day. Music. Thank you. God, those pianists turn up when you need them, do they? Who's probably on the front waiting for it. Never mind. Hey, carry on. Back to the highways. Without the national road, you saw traffic running across the national road there. We're coming this way because I want to show you a couple of better suspension bridges by the same creator. This elevated bridge, that looks perfectly good there. Glad that wasn't suspension. And then we got through the, I want to say, just check out the terrain though. The terrain on this map just feels really pleasing and lovely. And this is why I'm so glad I took the map. I'm glad I did. There we go. This one, again, could be a little tad higher, but you do get the feel that there is a bit of height on that suspension bridge, taking it over the island. But again, that just looks and feels a little bit better than that first one. And then we got an even betterer one. That's what I'm going with. And this one, it's just swooping, and we got a really good height on this one. And does feel like it does want to be a suspension bridge. So there you go. Your dreams have come true, Mr. Bridge. You are now in suspense. Well done. I'm moving on. Then we've got this intersection. I'm just going to skip past this one. It's a long sweeping S-bend type intersection with traffic swooping on one side and then looping across to the other. Very tidily done. Wish I'd shown you now. Forgot to, and I feel bad about it. But then call that retribution. Probably not the word I'm looking for, but retribution for not including things on the workshop that need to be on the workshop. Right. Anyway, highways just carry on off in towards the fog, if the fog was switched on, but it's not. So head off towards the not into the fog, and then we'll have a little look at the rail. And the rail is good. The rail is very, very good. We have that one level crossing near the start square that a few of you might not like, because obviously it's going to cause a bit of traffic chaos on and off, depending on how busy your rail line is. But as things are with this sort of like open countryside, I don't mind it at all. And then, of course, if you do go and build up a big city, you'll find your own solutions to get traffic across that one. Solutions being a bridge or a tunnel, obviously. Or just getting rid of the rail completely. I don't know why you'd want to do that. Now, it's not exactly realistic, but the slopes and the gradients are well within tolerance of a game like Cities Skylines, where the mechanics don't really matter that much. eyeball testing at close range, you won't really notice these gradients. It's not lumpy bumpy, it's not a roller coaster, it's not bad, it's definitely very good for a My First Map as well. So all credit for that. But yes, a few of them, if you're after the realism, a few of these gradients are well beyond what you would normally see as being normal. There's your level crossing down by the start square with the traffic coming into the start square going through that. You do kind of want that up a bit, don't you? And then this heads down and we are going to end up by one of our favourite things. What sort of favourite thing is it? Everybody get your singing throats ready. A 4, a 3, a 2, a 1. It's everybody's favourite factory. That's exactly what that is.
Are you confused by all those buttons running along the top and bottom of the screen? And what was that icon for again? Does anyone know? Then you need BonBonB's Beginner's Guide to the User Interface. Click the information button now.
And so back to Dalen by Neo, and we have a shipping route. It's a simple shipping route. It comes in from the edge of the map. It loops around this here island. Doesn't go too close to anything. Loops around it. If you want to have a harbour in there, absolutely beautifully positioned for that. And then it loops around back out. Now, some creators would have done a more extensive shipping route. It doesn't really need it, but you could argue that it is missing a more extensive. It's preference there. Water flow. This is the water going through the start square. Water is going upstream at that point, downstream at that point, but it is moving. So moving water is a good thing. But what is causing that? Let's have a look, see if there's any water spawn points along here, because it feels like there probably must be. Maybe one in the middle right there. Let's have a look. Oh, okay. There's lots of water. You're not going to have any problems with water. You're not, because there's just like a lot of water spawn points right there. Okay, the whole map. I just love this. I just love this. Yeah, you could argue that the sand needs a little bit of polish here and there just to make it feel a bit more real and whatever. But honestly, I love it. I am so glad I took a closer look at this one and took the time to, well, subscribe to the 2 missing assets. Now, if you were watching this week, or if you haven't seen this week, it was Monday's show. Do go back and have a little look at Monday's show. Let me just check the reference number for you. Monday's show was What's Map 872. If you've not seen that one, now that is a list of assets that would just take me too long to subscribe to individually. That's why I didn't. That's the difference between that map and today's map. Now, if you want to pick out a couple of things that are bad about the map, here they are over here. First of all, we have a water pimple. A water pimple there. Obviously a spawn point that is just pushing out a bit too much water to be hidden. And then, just to distract you a bit more, we have a couple of drowned trees. One here and one between us and the coast just down there. That's probably about the worst of the detailing there. So anyways, that is the map in its full glory. But what do you think of this map? Is it a 1-star map? Is it a 5-star map? Is it somewhere in between? Your vote really does count. We use it at the end of the month for the Viewer's Choice Top 10. Will this be one of the top 10 maps of the month? Only you can decide. What do I think? I don't think it can be because of the workshop issue, because that is a game breaker. But it's your choice and not mine. So aesthetically, I quite like it. I like the design, I like the layout. Regular temperate, yes, it should be on the list. So I can't include it. I have to assume this as being vanilla. I'm gonna give it, can't give it 4 stars. I've got to give it a high 3. Probably would have given it 4 stars if the theme was listed, regular temperate was listed. So anyway, that's 4 stars for aesthetics. Details seems very, very good across the board. Again, I can't quite give it the 4th star because there's just a few too many things that I feel just need a little bit more polish. So I'm going to give it, again, a very high 3 stars for detail. Pretty good work. Gameplay potential. I'd be tempted, definitely, to go 4 stars for this one. But, of course, we have the workshop issue. The map is broken. And for that, I cannot never go any higher than 1 star for gameplay. Dalen by FNEO. I'm really glad I found this one. I'm really glad. I just hope that FNEO can actually go back onto the workshop and add the bits that are missing. You need the theme, yeah, LUT preference if you have one, and those missing assets. Also, I've got a feeling it might also be mass transit. If it's mass transit, you'll need to add that as well, because I saw the 2-lane highways and they didn't look network extensions to me either. So anyway, I can't be sure because I had all of the DLC running, so heck, might need all of them. Anyway, thanks for watching, for commenting, for liking and for subscribing. Join me tomorrow for the Steam Weekly Chart Show.